Hello, and welcome to this session on disrupting traditional government functions with Infor Public Sector Suite. My name is Rick Bermani, and I am Systems Manager at the City of Las Vegas. This session is the story of a 5-year transformational journey driven by clearly defined business outcomes and a truly different approach to delivering on those business outcomes. As of 2018, Las Vegas had a population of about 640,000 residents. The city hosts over 42 million visitors that bring in about $1.1 billion in gaming revenue a year. Of course, this is significantly diminished due to this COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. The city is relatively new in that it was founded in 1905, and we pride ourselves in being leaders in innovation and modernization. Back in 2015, the drivers for our transformation program were born out of the vision of simply being the best city for developers to invest in. This is because developers can choose where to build, and we want them to come and build in Las Vegas. To achieve this, we set out to create the best possible developer experience, implement better processes than what other cities can simply buy, and thereby create sustainable competitive advantage for our city. These objectives translated into streamlining our development process by first breaking down the departmental silos and creating one cohesive and flowing development process. We set a goal of making everything as efficient as possible, way beyond what traditional planning, permitting, and licensing have been able to do, and make it all possible to be done online. We set out to stop being regulators and become partners with our developers so that we can see their development projects through with them. In order to do this, we had to let go of the turnkey or single solution approach. Let me explain. You see, traditionally, we have bought systems and implemented them in a departmental manner. When we needed a system for the planning department, for instance, we found the single vendor who had the best overall solution and we had them implemented. We did the same for the fire department and for every other department within the city. This traditional approach of sourcing systems from a single vendor has some inherent drawbacks. No single vendor ever meets all our needs, so right from the start, we are forced to make compromises. This approach also fragments both business processes that cross departmental lines. For instance, the licensing staff would be happy to work only within the licensing system, but their job requires them to use other departmental systems, and all these systems don't work well together. Remember when we first made online systems available to citizens? They were elated to be able to save a trip to City Hall and pay their bills and make park reservations from home. But now they have to log into numerous systems to get things done, like permitting, licensing, and that is just poor customer service. In order to get rid of the siloed solution approach, we had to find a way in which to deploy systems across the enterprise and truly integrate them for a seamless user experience. So we brought into this 3-tier framework the existing applications, which included Infor for community development, financials, which we use Oracle for, and other systems, but the requirement was that these systems must have very mature API integration capabilities, which Infor does have. So by bringing all of these in, we now created the capabilities to get the best of breed functions from these individual underlying systems and build upon those by creating a business API layer. So the functions that Infor does well were brought in along with our financials and everything else to create business level APIs that actually represent cross-departmental functions. We used Oracle Service Bus to do this integration, but there are several other solutions available for service-based integration. Even though we had all of these functional applications, there are certain specialized capabilities that were not being met with these baseline applications. These are things like electronic plan review. We had a massive need to do electronic plan submission and review. Bluebeam is a leader in that area, so we purchased Bluebeam and integrated using services to Bluebeam. We purchased Okta for identity management, AssetWise for document management, and Esri for GIS, as well as PayPal for payment processing. There is no single solution available in the market that does all of these functions well. So by buying best of breeds and then integrating it through the business API layer, we built the capability to now present all of these business capabilities through front ends that went way beyond each of these underlying systems. So on this integration that we created is now presented into mobile applications, which we built with OutSystems, and web applications that we deploy to our customers using .NET Nuke. These are just selections that we made because of the expertise we had. But really, you can use any front-end tool to build these capabilities. We even deployed applications to voice-based systems like Amazon Alexa, so that these business APIs can now be consumed by any platform. Having defined the overall approach for flexible, integrated, seamless solutions, we went about looking for the right community development system that would give us not only the functional capabilities, but non-functional reasons for choosing Infor Public Sector Suite. So the reasons were rapid solution delivery. We could configure Infor to do almost everything that we needed to do without customizations. It was easy to connect and extend the APIs that were offered within the system, and it supports changes with agile development. These were extremely important to us from a rapid solution delivery standpoint. In addition, we saw Infor as a comprehensive platform. It had full lifecycle application management capability, open APIs with full support. This is critical because if we are going to integrate using APIs, we want to make sure that we don't lose upgradability. Also, Infor is highly scalable that could meet our needs of growth, and as we brought on more departments as the features of the system became richer and richer. Finally, Infor offers a best-of-breed solution. It is a leading solution in the community development and regulation marketplace and has rapidly adding new capabilities even based on our requests. Let us start by looking at one example of how digital transformation has changed the way we work and serve our customers. Approving permits and planning applications requires city technicians to review a lot of paper. This process is not only burdensome on city staff, but requires builders, developers, and even homeowners to submit large volumes of paper plans that are expensive to print and hard to handle.
This is the large plan with all of the common disciplines. This is the old set of drawings that needed to be corrected, and now this should be the final review.
Once the permit is approved, building plans need to be kept on record for the life of the structure. This has created a large and expensive storage of paper dating back to some of the oldest construction projects in the city. But thanks to Project Eddie, all of this has now changed. With recently completed technology improvements, we are processing all plans, even the largest ones, electronically. Customers can now submit any permit and planning application online and upload all plans and documents 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not only does this save customers the cost of printing and delivering large volumes of paper, it allows various city staff to review the plans simultaneously on their computers, saving valuable time to approval of customer applications.
Will be more efficient to not have everything so cluttered, and everything's organized on the computer and on our list of things to do in the order in which we need to do it.
That video shows the demonstrated value of integrated systems in one specific area, that is, electronic plan submission and review. But our historical trends show that our improvements are driving customers to make greater and greater use of our process improvements. In this chart, you can see the rising trend in the use of online fee payments, increasing number of inspections scheduled online, and a greater percentage of online permit applications over time. It is also important to note that 27% of the permit applications are received when the city offices are actually closed. This is because we now accept applications and are open 24/7, 365. The online trends in our business licensing department show similar results, with over 80% of license applications now being completed online. All these trends translate to a decline in the number of people that are visiting our city offices. In fact, we are repurposing and selling entire buildings where once we used to serve customers in person. To see how our customers are receiving the changes we have made, we went to speak with them firsthand. Take a look at what they had to say. Monique O'Neill is the starts manager at DR Horton Builders, and she is very familiar with the permitting process all across the Las Vegas Valley.
And so I do appreciate that with a click of a button, that we have a dashboard and it takes us directly to our plan check to see where everything is at. How we do it, we have a online system called File Cloud. So it's just like Dropbox or anything where our repository is at. And that's where all of our building plans are at for our consultants, correction letters, initial submittals. And so all we'll do, which I like, is just upload directly from there. So that's the one great thing, and like I said, and we're not constrained to having to leave. And I love how you guys even do the permits. The permits, regular email, submit it, you get something that comes back and says, yep, we received it, here's your number, so you can check through the process. It's simple, and that's how it should be.
Michelle Merrick is plans manager at KB Homes. When asked how our building department is doing, this is what she had to say.
I believe that the building department is working with the industry to make things easier for us. I think online submittal is one way, being open to suggestions, talking to the industry about what they could do better. In the recent past, by going online, we don't have to spend as much time and resources driving down to the city, which takes a lot of time out of your day. It's quicker, it's cost effective because I don't have to print multiple sets of plans now. So it is an advantage to be able to just do it online.
Do you feel that the city is working to help you get things done faster now?
Yes, much faster, because I know, and they pride themselves on being more efficient, being on top, and I know with Kevin going in there, because him and I worked through project docs together at the county.
Oh, okay.
So we have that in common, and we know what we went through.
Yeah.
And then, so this, like I said, is much simpler.
Okay.
So
awesome.
That's what is great, because I have a lot of people still coming into the industry who aren't technology savvy. So
Right.
the easier, the better.
Undoubtedly, the most valuable part of what we have delivered is a platform for continuous improvement. Let me illustrate with an example of one specific improvement. You see, civil permits require final signatures by 5 different utility companies. These firms require the developer to physically present the final set of paper plans for signature. After all utilities have approved the plans, then our city departments can electronically sign the plans simultaneously. This final signature process for about 200 civil permits a year can take up to 6 weeks to complete. and holds up the development work from starting. In order to overcome this delay caused by development permits, able to subsume the utilities into our electronic signature process. This allows for all entities to sign the final plans simultaneously, reducing the time it takes to complete this process to as little as 1 week. This results in an average saving of 4 weeks on about 200 civil permits we issue every year. When I spoke about creating sustainable competitive advantage earlier, this type of process disruption is what I was referring to. As we provide such improvements for their developers, we are confident our customers will notice. Let me share with you another example of how integration using APIs has served us well. You see, Infor Public Sector Suite provides the property data and all related artifacts like incidents, cases, work orders, licenses, permits, and so on. But using the API services that we have launched above what APIs are provided by Infor, we are able to do things like this. When a business license application comes in via the internet, our API systems can automatically poll and gather the state license information and automatically complete all the forms for the customer. This saves the customer enormous amount of time in completing all of these applications and getting the business license into our Infor system. Let me share another couple of examples of how this integration capability has truly transformed how business is done at the City of Las Vegas. When we receive a payment from a customer over the internet, we can apply a portion of that payment towards permits. But we can also apply that same payment towards our financial system where we have receivables, as well as a parks and recreation system using APIs. This allows the customer to take multiple payments that need to be made across siloed solutions in the background at the city and throw them into a shopping cart and check out with a single payment. This is true good customer service. And finally, we have integrated with the Bluebeam Cloud using APIs as well. So when a permit application comes in, the customer submits the application and drags and drops the plans along with their application onto a single screen. The permit application itself is written into Infor, but the plans are written into the Bluebeam Cloud. And they are stored there for review by utilities externally and within our internal systems until all the permits are approved. These processes have significantly reduced the effort to move between systems and complete transactions using multiple applications. I hope you have found this presentation useful and eye-opening in terms of what we can do with a truly transformational approach using Infor Public Sector Suite.